We've been talking so much NBA 2K21, but we wanted to thank you guys for tuning in and joining us for 45 episodes in NBA 2K20.
We've had so much fun connecting with you all over this past season.
So as we put NBA 2K20 to a close, we take a look back at our favorite moments on NBA 2K TV. Check it out.
Welcome to this very special episode.
And that's an example of playing big, adapting to the situation.
And sometimes that's the best policy when you're going up against a big guy. Take it to the 10, right at it, get to the rack.
And the rejection by Collins. Thompson passes to Conley. Right side, Collins. Trying to get open is out of bounds. Shot by Collins, no good.
no good.
Really just struggling here in the first few minutes. 5 attempts with only 1 call. Not really his best quarter as far as scoring. Let's see if he can eventually get back on track.
Now, here is Irving. Following the miss by Michael Conley. Here's Shaq. Good, and the assist goes to Irving.
And Irving is comfortable running the offense. When a teammate's open, he's quick to whip it around and get him a good look.
Now here's Conley. And they get some nice contributions from him on a nightly basis as he averages over 11 points a game. Stack pulls it in.
You've got to be there defensively. I mean, that's an easy mid-range jumper that he'll typically drain.
That puts them in the lead. O'Neal's got 6 points.
Boy, a dominant big man is O'Neal. Superb control inside. This dude will feast on the interior.
Now, here's Collins. Trying to find Pippen. He's got it now. Kyrie Irving grabs the miss.
And typically he has the touch to finish when he's in tight, but not sure on that.
Hughes kicks to Irving. To the middle. Collins comes over with the double team. Shot clock at 6. Irving can't hit.
The defense there got away with a major lapse.
Well, you know, for so long, Mike D'Antoni has been a vanguard on NBA offense. His teams have always played great offense, moving, spacing, dynamic players. Defense has not been at the level of offense, but I think he's actually improved as a coach in that area as well.
He gets it in there.
You know, you got to appreciate the speed of Kyrie Irving. I mean, incredible at finding different ways to get to the basket, and he is not afraid of anybody.
Now, here's Thompson. Still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him. And as it goes out of bounds, Houston able to keep the ball. And part of it for D'Antoni is that he is delegating defensive duties.
Yeah, and I like that, Kevin. He's made sure to have a defensive coordinator on his staff, delegating that role and responsibility. He thinks he knows that his team is better off with him.
Walker's checked in for Irving. Here's Scott. A putback. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
And a nice job of turning that miss into 2 points on the tip-in.
Hustle points, I believe they call them. Hustle points right there.
And great instincts, too, guys, anticipating where the miss was going.
And now the first timeout called here for the Rockets.
And they just can't seem to get going offensively.
I think this timeout, guys, is where you draw up some plays that are guaranteed to create some high percentage shots.
The Knights making some changes. Whiteside's checked in for Scott. And it's Crawford in for Larry Hughes. Houston with a big group substitution here. Valanciunas, he's checked in for Bam Adebayo. Clark comes in for Christie, he's checked in for Thompson. And Jared Bayless subbed in for Mike Conley. And Whiteside sends it back.
Whiteside takes great technical shot. Outstanding. Getting his arms up and denying shooters.
Rockets trail by 4.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Pippen misses. And so it's Walker with it who brings it up for the Knights. Pass to Whiteside. Back to Walker. Ball's knocked loose. Here's Bayless. Sweet little floater.
Bayless has great change of pace. Changes gears so fast out there. 1 minute he's blowing by you, and the next second he's going 25 mile an hour in a 55 mile an hour zone.
And here it is for him.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Well, listless and lifeless at the defensive end. I mean, especially inside. They've really got to pick up on the
And the activity he shows around the rim is why he is such a respected defender.
And you know what? He's not going to give up an easy finish at the rim. I mean, that's just against his constitution.
No good from Clark. Gone 4-2 from deep here. Siakam looking around. Outside, Walker. Back to Siakam. Dishes it to Walker. Down low. Here's numbers for Whiteside the last few years. Greg, it seems like his production has come back down a bit.
And for a minute, Whiteside looked like he could be a dominant center, but he struggled since his great 2017 season. Shot selection has been hurting, and sometimes it feels like he is in his own way as a player.
Here's Walker after the made shot from Scottie Pippen. Pass to Whiteside. Here's Siakam. Target from outside.
Not quite enough defense that time around. Just lucky he was off.
Up top, Bayless. He nails it, and we're tied up. Bayless has got his second basket of the game.
That's their third straight make off an assist.
Here's Walker. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Right block shot. And out of bounds as the Rockets gain possession.
Well, that's the moment he'd like to archive. Embarrassing lapse of judgment there.
The Knights making some changes. Horford comes in for Shaq, and Rudy Gay is subbed in for Pascal Siakam. And the Rockets making a change here as well. Gary's checked in for Scottie Pippen. Here's Bayless. No luck that time on a shot that would have put them on top. About 3 seconds between shot and game clock. And it's Walker penetrating, and he uses the glass on the lane. And the Knights lead by 2.
Yeah, Walker seemed unbothered by the defense. They're very creative with the rock in his hand.
Puts it up from 12. Misses off the left eye. Whistle blows. Basket is good. So a chance here for a three-point play.
Well, you look at Walker, and he's a slight guy, but he powers through it all. Terrific, deceptive strength.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight. So the first quarter is in the books. Knights lead by 5. And we'll be back in just a moment with the start of the second quarter. And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for the Knights.
Well, you have to admire their intensity in the paint defensively. I mean, really contesting and even blocking shots. Definitely a factor early.
And the other thing that's been equally as effective is the fact that they've gotten out on the fast break. A lot of points coming in transition.
Taking a look at the Rockets. Jared Bayless is out there with Christie. Then there's Jonas Valanciunas. Then there's Barry. And it's Clark in at the power forward position. Here's Bayless. And Clark the ball with his palm. What defensive play. Outside, Walker. And there's the 3-second call. This one on the defense. Who do you think is the best center right now? Spacing the floor and also embracing the traditional responsibilities of the center.
Well, I tell you, it wasn't until the playoffs of this past season that I got to see Jokic. My goodness, he is a
Something, isn't
joy
he? Wow.
to watch. His footwork, his shot making, his skill, and I think his passing is probably the best attribute of his game. I would put him in that category because he can make the big three. Embiid is streaky from there. In terms of the balanced approach, I think Anthony Towns in that mix.
Good name. Rockets trail by 8. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough taking the lid off.
Boy, he has to put that one in there. Solid opportunity, gone awry. Irving.
He gets that one. Irving's got his second bucket of the night.
Boy, I tell you, I don't know if there's anybody better than Kyrie Irving close to the basket. He has a great feel for how to score inside.
Bayless's shot is off. The Knights have gone 2 of 4 shooting the ball here in the second. Trying to break that ice-cold streak. And the ball travels out of bounds. Over's last touch by Gabe. Larry Hughes is checked in for Jamal Crawford. Houston also making some changes. Collins checked in for Clark. Clay Thompson comes in for Christie. And it's Conley in for Jared Bayless.
And really, it's been a major aspect of their offense in the early stages here. Their success working the ball inside and getting points in close range.
Irving's shot is good.
It sure was textbook, and Irving is fantastic
wing. Horford the pass to Hughes. Irving against Collins. And shot on the way. Irving's shot is good. And now it's a 12-point night lead.
Yeah, and they're shooting really starting to pick up here in the second.
Yeah, and it should help them increase their separation here. I mean, it's been an impressive offensive output.
That one goes. Count it.
Boy, he's doing everything he can at this point. The rest of his teammates need to step up and give him some help.
Here in the second quarter, about 3 minutes played. Passes to Hughes. Gay left side. The 15-footer, good. Gay's got his first bucket of the night.
A high release point of Gay's shot really helps him. I mean, he does a nice job of getting that shot off over good defense.
Here's Conley. Valanciunas trying to free himself up. Conley's shot is up.
A slight rebound advantage for them. One more pop in their favor, and it's all adding up.
Well, you take a look at all of the stats, the team stats that is, and that's one of the many areas that they've had the advantage. As a result, they've got a big lead.
Lopez with the block.
Lopez showing off the limb there to get to that shot.
Here's Irving. And the layup falls. Irving's got 12.
Well, what a quarter for him. I mean, he's found his rhythm, and he's really riding that wave right now.
And we come back to it again and again. If you're just looking at points and rebounds, you really miss Al Horford's impact. It goes way deeper than the box score.
Now a timeout called by Houston. And some detractors have looked at Horford's stats, and they said he's not an all-star. Even Sports Talk Radio calling him average out.
Nonsense. I mean, still a great defender, efficient scorer, elite passer as well for a big man. Then you get to his leadership. Big Al is the total package.
The Knights making a switch here. Scott's checked in.
And he's having quite the quarter, converting at a really high percentage.
Irving looking for an opening. The pass to Hughes. Over Thompson. That's short off the rim. It's trailed by 14. From downtown. Offensive rebound.
Smooth. Guys, very good job getting himself in close enough that he could just tip it back in.
Well said. Those kind of plays in the offensive pass can tell the story sometimes, can't they?
Yes, they can, Kevin. They can't allow him to beat them to too many more of those.
And stolen by Kyrie Irving. Number 12 goes in. He's made 7. 12 now.
He has created some terrific opportunities for himself and really made the most of it.
Outside Pippen. He lines up the alley-oop pass. Trying to go for an alley-oop, but excellent defense and anticipation there to stop Irving. Basket is good. He got a chance for one more at the line.
And once he started feeling it, Irving just decided to make it his night. And he's done that in a big way.
First trip to the free throw line for him tonight. Like the level of nuance and the footwork that keeps evolving every few years. Talk about the changes that you have seen from the time you played to the exquisite footwork you see.
Well, you know, some of my peers would say that these guys are being allowed to walk. They haven't talked about his good footwork. So you work with Reggie and other guys, and I hear them all the time saying guys are getting away with carrying the ball and so forth. But the footwork is pretty good. I mean, when you think about it, the step back three-point shot, the ability to make plays off the dribble, all attributed to footwork. I think it's just an evolution of the game. As players see more and more of excellent work on the court, they're able to emulate it a lot sooner and a lot better.
That is really good work there on the offensive glass.
And first time out for the game called here for the Knights. And he may not have gotten the same attention as some of the other picks back in the 2017 draft rate, but John Collins out of Wake Forest has been outstanding thus far in his career.
And really one of the league's best kept secrets. Tremendous athleticism.
offensive 3-second violation. This is his third trip to the free throw line.
Numbers this year at the line below 70, so when he's getting to the line, he's really as effective as he was.
Guys, when you compare against last year, I mean, this season has been a pretty painful drop-off in his free throw numbers. I mean, he's not making the key chances he's getting at the foul line.
Looking at who's out there now for the Rockets. Clark, he's checked in for John Collins. Christie comes in for Thompson. And Jared Bayless subbed in for Mike Conley. And he makes that one.
Oh, it's great to see Bayless mixing it up in the post. I mean, when he's scoring in the paint, it's got to be devastating to the defense.
Inside. Kick out to Walker. Takes a three. And it's hauled in by Pittman. And stolen by Scott. Pass to Walker. Finished off the break. Walker's coming up.
Boy, that speed and aggressiveness. Walker is a force in transition. Very hard to keep up with him.
Both loose. And Walker with a clear pass to the hoop. That's it. That's his fifth field goal. He's shooting a hot 71%. 5 for 7. Siakam against Pippen. Pass to Adebayo. Here's Bayless. Good D by Siakam.
He's been off tonight, off his game. At this point, he might want to focus on creating for others.
Count the bucket, and he's got a free throw coming up as well.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
And when you make 5 in a row in close like that, it also takes pressure off your perimeter guys, too.
And that one falls for Walker.
I'll tell you what, Walker is an exceptional scorer. I mean, a clever guard who wreaks havoc with his quickness and ball skill.
And he lobs it up toward the rim. Oh, a nice defensive play to disrupt the alley-oop. With 2 seconds left. And he lays it up and in. He's got 13 points in just this quarter. So as we conclude the first half, so far fairly one-sided. It's the Knights running away with it. We'll see you after halftime for the beginning of the third quarter.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey again, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson. Shaq is here. Kenny's here. You're watching the NBA Halftime Show on 2K Sports. What a game it's been for Kyrie Irving. He ended up with 19 points, 2 steals, and 3 rebounds. Coming off a great performance last game, tonight he looked like he had that same aggressive mindset. How about you, Kenny? What did you think about this home team?
Well, they built this lead in large part because of the sharpshooters off the bench. The subs played a superb game. Get it? Sub, superb. I mean, they played like starters.
Shaq, how'd you think the Rockets were playing?
Well, they got a ton of issues to work on. Allow way too high percentage to be shot against them. Not really showing any energy on defense. No discipline. Look at their faces, man. Do they even want to be here?
And that does it for our halftime show. We now take you back to Kevin Harlan for the start of the third period. Shaq in at the 5, patrolling the paint. That's the group for Brad Stevens getting going here in the second half. And
so it's Thompson with it. He'll bring it up for the Houston Rockets. At the conclusion of this game, they're off to Minnesota, where they'll take on the Timberwolves. That's the final game of this 5-game road run for the team. The shot, no good. So it's the Knights. We'll take it the other way. Here's Walker. That one a little long. And for the Rockets, they're shooting just 28%. They are offensively out of whack and out of step with each other at this point. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot two here. I want to take you back a bit here to 1982. What was going through your mind over your first few NBA games?
Well, Kevin, first of all, I was really excited and thankful to have a chance to realize a dream, but I was also a little bit nervous going up against some of the guys that I had watched and idolized from afar. But once you're between those lines, it's not about idolizing guys. It's about trying to posterize them.
Any player in particular, one player that you looked out on the floor and you were out there as well saying, oh my goodness, look who I'm playing against tonight.
Well, when we first saw the Celtics in the 60s, Larry Bird and those great teams in the 80s, the Sixers, my rookie year, won it all. And they had Moses Malone, Dr. J, Bobby Jones, some of the greats in the game. So those two teams, and Dr. J and Larry Bird.
On the wing, Irving. By Conley. Stolen by Conley. Outside Pippen. Chance shot, and the call on the shot sends him to the line. Houston shooting their third and fourth free throw shots of the night.
Not really where you'd like to be as a team in terms of free throw shooting, just about 73%.
Yeah, it's been a very frustrating season for them in that regard, guys.
And that one drops for him. 21 points for Kyrie Irving.
And Irving is so fast on the drive. Even when he gets hit, he still finishes nicely around the rim.
With the shot. And that one's good by Pippen.
You know, not necessarily what you're looking for, but still able to convert.
Passes it to O'Neal.
Nobody wants to get in his way when he's this deep. Watch out.
Rockets have gotten just one of their first 4 shots to fall since coming out of the locker room at the break. And there's the call on Kyrie Irving. That's his first foul for the Rockets. Valanciunas comes in for Bam Adebayo. And Barry subbed in for Pippen. Collins passes to Barry. And the pass to Conley. 6 on the shot clock. Over Irving. And so it looks like the Rockets will retain possession here. And the Rockets with possession here. Nice shot by Thompson.
And the lack of effort to fight over the screen there makes that an easy shot.
Well, I'm going to credit the screen. I mean, that's a good, strong pick he lays there.
Siakam left side. It's stolen by Valanciunas. And it's the Rockets on the break. The shot's good from Barry. Barry's got his first basket of the night.
Man, he's a pure point guard with terrific vision. Conley finds open teammates at times before they realize they're open.
And the Knights call time here. The Knights making some changes. Right side's checked in for Siakam. Gay comes in for Scott, and it's Crawford in for Irving. And it's Crawford, top of the key. That's to O'Neal. He kicks it to Gay. Pass to Shaq. On the wing, Jamal Crawford. Thompson with it. He's playing a pretty big role for him at the offensive end, averaging about 12.5 points a game. Pass to Barry. 5 on the clock. Softly drops in the floater.
Oh, such a field shot there, the floater.
The Knights have gone 3 of 4 so far in the third quarter from the field. the second half. Looking to end his full style.
Love seeing O'Neal use his body to come up with those blocks. Always a four. Really consistent defender as well.
Crawford's shot is good. And taking a quick look here at the hustle stats for the Knights.
Contested shots and block shots. They're bread and butter defensively. They're giving up no easy looks.
Yeah, but also, they haven't missed a beat in terms of their fast break game. That's been equally as effective all night.
Yeah, we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Well, Kevin, one of the things that teams are more aware of in the age of analytics is the importance of sleep. Those teams are making adjustments. Morning shoot-arounds have been moved in some cases to the afternoon or eliminated altogether. There are many fewer teams that are taking red-eye flights across country. Some teams even give players orange-tinted glasses to encourage them to sleep. There's a lot of work to be done in this field, but the direction is clear.
Continuing to evolve. All right, David, thank you. The Knights making a switch here. Walker's checked in. The Rockets also changing it up. Clark, he's checked in for Collins. Christie comes in for Barry. And Jared Bayless subbed in for Mike Conley. Valanciunas, another miss by Houston. The Knights have gone 5 of 7 from the field in the third quarter. Let's see if they can keep it up. The pass to O'Neal. Valanciunas. O'Neal misses.
And that is a textbook example of how to defend your rim.
And you know, guys, I love his fight and grit on the interior. I mean, he never lets a shot go uncontested.
Valanciunas passes to Christie. Thompson surveying the floor. Over Gay. And Thompson gets it to go. Thompson's got 4 this quarter.
And his presence as a scorer, it just has a calming effect for the rest of the team. He's a fallback option whenever they need it.
That's a 2-pointer from Brak. It's rebounded by Houston. Valanciunas has got his 4th rebound with that last one hit. Stolen by Walker. And Walker with a clear path to the hoop. Lays it in. Walker's got 20.
Walker can be a slick, sneaky defender. A lot of his skills result in instant offense.
Well, you have to give credit to Kemba Walker, who has always found ways to improve his game year after year. Has worked on that shot in 2-7, where he can now be a handful to defend for any guard.
Scottie Pippen's checked in for Houston. And the Rockets with possession here. Pass to Clark. Here's Christie. He's covered by Whiteside. Just 4 to shoot. Christie the pass to Pippen. And it's going to be a 24-second shot clock violation. They turn it over. And the Rockets making a change here. Adebayo's checked in. The Knights have gone 6 of 10 from the field in the third quarter. And with one, as he has progressed to the plate. Greg still has his leadership.
And Kemba has been a natural leader for so long during his time. When your leader puts in the work that Kemba does, it has to inspire the rest of that roster.
Pippen against Gay. Pippen kicks to Bayless. He blocks it again.
A defensive stalwart so far. That's 6 blocks.
Greg protecting the rim. Love the hustle. They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
And Adebayo throws it down.
And, you know, passing the ball is exactly what Bayless is out there to do. I mean, especially when a teammate does not have anybody around him. Get it to the open guy.
And it's Walker penetrating. Here's O'Neal. Extending by Whiteside.
Nothing soft about the putback there.
And why chance it, right? Take the dunk if you've got it.
Well, you know, if nobody's going to put a body on him, then that's going to be the result.
Gay against Pippen. Pass to Adebayo. Here's Christie. Houston needs to get a shot. Pippen for 3. A 3-pointer is right on target. Pippen's got 11.
Scottie Pippen, a dependable shooter from here now. Like how he gets his feet set first. That's fundamental, but essential.
Here's Walker. Lays out and puts it in.
Big miscommunication on defense. He recognizes it and quickly takes advantage.
Boy, the defense looks shell-shocked. I mean, they're on the ropes right now, on their heels.
Here's Bayless, and that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. Kemba Walker picks one up.
And Bayless always hunting for contact on his shots. The defense has to be wary of that.
The Knights making some changes.
Traits that Bayless exudes, really the reason he's so highly revered around the league. Somebody that this team looks to both on and off.
The 3 quarters of play all in the books, and this one all but over already. The Knights delivering the blowout. We've got more NBA basketball coming your way in just a minute. While we have the chance now, folks, let's go to our State Farm assist of the game.
And how about the big fella here? Some point guard skill here with a tremendous setup.
Hey, that was a high-level pass no matter what position it came from. But it does make it stand out a little more when it's made by the big fella.
And 1 quarter to go in a game that to this point has not been an evenly fought contest. 4th quarter on the court for the Hornets. Clark is out there with Adebayo. And it's Conley, and there's Christie, and it's Pippen in at the small forward. Pass it to Hughes. Takes the 3. The shot will not fall.
That's excellent defense right there on the perimeter.
Over to the wing. Here's Christie. That falls. Nice feed that time from Scottie Pippen. Christie's got himself in the board with 3 there. There's the pass to Horford. Knocked away. It's stolen by Adebayo. Here's Christie. Pulls it down. Irving's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight, and that's a foul called on Bam Adebayo. That's foul number 2 for him. Collins checked in for Clark. And we played through about a minute here in the 4th. Moving against Conley. And Siakam has it in the corner. Against Hughes. Pippen, the pass to Conley. A good finish at the rack off the slick feed.
And Scottie Pippen so good at surveying the floor. Like seeing him find the open man with those sweet dishes.
Stolen by Michael Conley. And that one drops. Conley's got 4 points now in the quarter. And the Knights call time here.
They're trying to stem the tide here.
Yeah, you know, they had to do something, anything to stop this run. You can't just let it go on any longer.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin, well, look, here's what Brad Stevens went over with his guys during the break. We talked about the mindset they need to have, but we have to see the rest of the way. Engagement with both ends and making good decisions with the ball. Guys?
Here is Conley. First quarter of play, about 2 minutes in now. Pass to Adebayo. Doesn't get it to drop for him. Good work defensively by Horford. And Siakam gets it to go on the assist by Hughes. Siakam's got his first points of the night. It's trailed by 16. Pass to Pippen. Oh, and there's the Adebayo throws it down.
And maybe that'll trigger them. Impossible not to get pumped up after that.
You can see the immediate reaction of the guys on the bench. They are pumped up.
And that's what those alley-oops will do for a team. Ignition, switch, ignite.
Shooting foul. As the whistle blows, he'll shoot 2 free throws.
You know, he was the 3rd pick in the 2007
Thompson, he's checked in for Christie. And Bam Adebayo, he just plays with so much energy when he's on the floor.
Boy, he is ferocious on both ends of the floor. Great energy player who can finish in the paint with the best of them. Very quick on his feet and can cover a lot of ground for a player his size.
And it's Houston's ball. They're on an 11-3 run. Here's Conley. Collins trying to break free. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Conley's got 6 here in this quarter.
And not hard to see why they are giving up points on this run. Just too many good looks from in close.
Siakam left side. And Thompson sends it back. And it's the Rockets on the break. Thompson with the ball. He dishes it to Pippen. Over in the corner. Conley. 5 to shoot. Here's Pippen. Scott pulls it in. The Knights have gone 1 of 5 from the field here in the fourth. A lot of misses, just the one made. Collins grabs the miss. Collins has got 6 rebounds in the game. A shot by Thompson, and no one's around. And again, it's the Rockets from deep.
I'll tell you, they're right in this. We'll see if they can maintain momentum.
Well, it starts with defense. They got some stops, scored some buckets after that, and now we got ourselves a ball game.
I'll tell you what, he earned his money on that foul.
Yeah, if you're going to foul, then make sure that you don't give a chance for the and one.
Free throw drop for Al Horford. Clark is inside the halftime locker room in the NBA.
Well, players typically just regroup individually. There may be some conversation between the players as a group, but then the coaches will huddle, evaluate what transpired in the first half, what adjustments need to be made, and then they'll communicate that to the team. And it's basically a time to rest and regroup for the players to adjust and strategize for the coaches.
Clark, you think there's any videotape review in there, maybe showing players certain sets, certain schemes?
In this day and age, for sure, with the use of iPads and technology, and if you go back to my time, there was no quick turnaround of video in the halftime locker room.
Right. I do know officials do that too in their locker room now. And the Knights call time here. Chance now to recognize our Jordan player of the game, Kemba Walker.
And he's played this entire game on his front foot, Kevin. I mean, driving the lane, going to the rim with purpose, and getting those points the hard way.
The better he played, the more these fans got revved up. And that continued to play out over the course of his amazing performance. And they call the foul, so a chance at the line for one more coming up. That'll put Shaq on the line. It's on. Here's Valanciunas.
And O'Neal, clearly one of the biggest human beings you'll ever see. A mammoth of a man. About a seventh of a ton. And yet, unstoppable.
Pippen dishes to Collins. Pippen gets to Conley. Over Rubin. Conley's shot is off. And here's Gay. He'll bring it up for the Knights. They lead by 14. And the shot goes down. That's 23 points for Kyrie Irving.
And the mid-range shot of Irving is impressive. He has wonderful form with that shot.
Pippen, the pass to Thompson. Gay against Pippen. Fires from the line. Gay with the block.
Gay using his reach and bounce to perfection to block the shot.
Irving's shot is good.
Offensively, defensively, they are in total control.
Don't leave out the coaching staff here now. I mean, their game plan has been perfect.
Outside Pippen. Will it go? That shot missing. So it's the Knights. We'll take it the other way. Irving attacking. And he banks in the lane. Irving's got 27 points.
Relentless in their approach, even with the game firmly in hand.
And, you know, until that final buzzer sounds, I mean, you've got to treat every possession like it's crucial.
Timeout called. The Rockets. They're down by 20. 1:57 left in the fourth quarter of this one. come. 13 feet away. And again, Kyrie Irving. Irving's got 8 points here in this quarter.
And as we head to the final buzzer here, a crushing blowout, big-time dominance, and this will go in the record books as a gaudy win for the Knights.
And this was one that never really was in doubt, but an all-around dominant performance. And you kind of thought that maybe even going into the game.
Yeah, there was a sense of that, and man, they just pretty much blew them right out of the water. A clinic was put on display here today.
And it'll advance their win total up to 12 on the season. And we watched one guy all night long, guys, and looking at the stats just confirms what a dominant game he had. What a night tonight it was for Kyrie Irving.
Every time he shot it, it seemed like it was going to drop in. And if it didn't, everyone was surprised.
Shoots it. Releases from the wing and throws it. Irving's got 31 points.
And you can sense that these fans, these players, they are ready to celebrate.
And I think they can start that celebration right now. I mean, what a terrific team victory.
Pippen gets to Conley. The shot's good on the assist by Pippen.
Well, it's always great to get into a rhythm, but do it when it matters.
Now they're playing with urgency. They could have done it much earlier before the game was out of reach.
On its way from Irving for 2. Hands the shot from the wing. And the Knights lead by 21.
Saw the opportunity to put this away and just did not turn it down.
And, you know, this run shows what kind of attitude this team has. I mean, the win is there, go get it.
And so it's the Knights winning this one. They won this game going away. They were the better basketball team.
And you got to commend this sort of dominance, particularly here at home. It's a great feeling when you play almost a perfect game and to have that crowd.
All right, David, thank you.